Hi everyone, I am Stephen Daggeter, author of Pope Dreams, Pope Peter the Improbable. And today I'm going to talk about why I think my book is like Conclave with jokes. Now, before anyone starts thinking that I've just jumped on the Conclave bandwagon, my book was in draft form long before the novel Conclave came out. And in fact, I didn't even know about Conclave until the movie came out. And people who'd read my book were telling me, oh, you have to see it, because a lot of the themes in it were very similar in terms of the politics of the church. But how did I come about to write a book about an improbable pope? Well, it was back in 2005, Pope John Paul passed away. And I remember hearing media reports at the time. And one of them said that you don't have to be a cardinal to be pope. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. But how would the cardinals still have to elect the pope, how would they put someone in who wasn't one of them? And the only thing I could come up with was divine intervention. So the story developed that, okay, the cardinals will have a dream, and they'd all have a dream on the night of the Pope's funeral, where they would see the next Pope. And they would all see the image of the exact same person in their dreams. And that person would not be a cardinal, a priest or a bishop. He would be a married father of 6 living in Dublin, Ireland, who was about to have a vasectomy. So from there, that was in 2005, and from there I started developing various sort of plot lines and various dreams for the cardinals to have and various funny situations. And I was fantasizing how wonderful this book would be and what a great movie it would make and how people would love it. And I hadn't actually written anything down until about 2011, when I said, okay, if I think this is really good, I better start writing it. So I actually wrote the first draft. Most of the first draft was written to and from work on my work on my daily commute on the train. So I'd sit down with my laptop for 40 minutes or so and just write. And the story just developed, because the whole plot was in my head, but it just developed and characters came in when I needed them and went out. So that's essentially how the book came to be. But then I tried to get it published. Initially, I did the usual thing, sent it around to publishers, didn't get much response. I let it go for a while. Life happened, other things got in the way. And it wasn't until about 2016 I thought, well, I really got to do something with this. So I reached out to someone who helps people self-publish. Even then, I procrastinated a bit. And it wasn't until 2022 that I finally got the self-published version out. And a bit more procrastination, I haven't had the official launch yet, but the official launch is happening on November 15 at 2 p.m. in Melbourne, Australia. 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, because there'll be daylight savings then. I will try and get I'll be trying to do a live stream either on this channel or on my Facebook page. So yeah, look out for that. Also looking at setting up a way to purchase the book directly from my website. I haven't got that yet. Originally I said I couldn't, I still can't personally, physically send the book from here to overseas, but I can arrange for a book to be printed overseas and sent to you via directly. So I'm still setting that up. In the meantime, the normal avenues are there on Amazon or whatever reseller you want to use. Now, I guess the whole thing about the conclave, the idea of the conclave is that the cardinals lock themselves away and wait for the Holy Spirit to speak to them and direct them in the direction of the Pope. As you know, if you've watched the movie Conclave or read the book, that's not exactly what happens. There are some serious politics involved. There are different factions in the church, from conservative to progressive. If I was to, I do describe myself as a progressive Catholic because I don't believe in all the doctrine in terms of being anti-LGBTQ and divorced people not being allowed to remarry and silly things like that. So that's the side that I'm coming from. So I guess in that way, my guy's a bit of a spoiler, in that he's coming to the mix of this. He is a progressive person and a layman, although the cardinals don't know him. Yeah. But getting back to my point, yeah, it's the Holy Spirit that's meant to guide them in the selection of the Pope. So in my book, the Holy Spirit takes the upper hand, really, by putting the image of this guy in their heads and then gradually finding out who he is. And there's really only two cardinals who know him, the Irish cardinals, because he has been involved in the church at a pastoral council level. And that's where the similarities between me and Peter MacDonald, who's the main protagonist of the book, comes in. So I'm not Peter MacDonald, but Peter MacDonald knows what I know in terms of the politics of the church, the theology. I was taught by very progressive priests and nuns post-Vatican II. And then the issues I had as a progressive Catholic, me and my friends, I guess, my fellow parishioners had, in the hard right of the church, sort of coming down on us for not doing things the right way and shutting us down and even moving staff on and things like that, which wasn't very nice. So although that has contributed to the story in the end, which probably reason, so I guess serendipitously is why it probably was delayed for all that to come in. And serendipitously as well, that now that in fact I'm trying to push it more, that now that Conclave's come up, it's sort of a bit more of a topical subject, and we've just had a change of Pope. And you can read my blog posts about what I think of the old Pope and the new Pope and where I think the church should be going. Whether it will go there or not, I don't know. So that is in a nutshell is how I came up with the story. And so the Holy Spirit really has the upper hand in this, and assisted by some mischievous doves who may or may not have caused the death of the previous Pope. And that's Mr. Darcy wants to come in the room. I thought I'd shut the door, but anyway. So that is it. Now, a bit other bits that go in the book, obviously, had a bit of fun with the dreams. So in the dreams, the cardinals, one of them is surfing, and he finds himself, it becomes like, those of you old enough to know the old beach movies with Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon dancing on the beach. So he's surfing along and finds he's got the character Gidget on his shoulders on the surfboard. Gidget turns into the Flying Nun, which is the Sally Field character. Sally Field played both characters, and takes him off into the air, lands him on the beach, and they end up in a big dance number. So that's one of the dreams. Another one is the Cardinal's a stand-up comic, and he's telling a joke. And the joke he's telling was actually told to me by a priest during a service. So I've reused that one. The vasectomy stories. There's a time when he's talking with Peter MacDonald is talking with his mates in the pub, and they're talking about different horror stories about vasectomies, which Again, may or may not be true, but there's certainly urban myths that I heard before I had my vasectomy. And then the actual experience of the vasectomy itself that Peter has, where he's in the chair, he's going for the procedure, and all of a sudden all these people he knows turns up. That was a real experience from someone I know who had his done in a small country town. And again, the anaesthetist and all the nurses were all people he knew from the football club or school or whatever else. So I thought I'd throw that in as well. But anyway, that's about it for now. We've got about 10 minutes. I don't want to make these things too long. Just thought I'd give you a brief rundown of the book. And I hope you follow the links in my website, which is www.stephendaggeter.au. Very simple website. Stephen Daggeter, one word, without an apostrophe, because internet doesn't like apostrophes. A lot of computer stuff doesn't like apostrophes. And and if you're in Melbourne, book a ticket for the book launch, because there's no cost involved, but I just got a try booking thing out there, so we know numbers and for catering and everything else. So also happy for you to comment and subscribe to this channel, and or subscribe to or follow me on Facebook. And looking forward to seeing your comments and hearing any questions you might have. So I'll cut it off there for now because I've spoken too much. So we'll catch you all next time. Thank you. Bye.